heck? That was certainly weird. Let's see what they left on the porch. So what a lot of people do not realize about doing a channel like this is that information is difficult to find, especially when you go out of your way to make sure that you are telling a factual recount of the history based on what is available in the collected data from the event, as opposed to those who just ramble on about their viewpoint of what the situation was like, and then they skew it with political or ideological ideals that usually don't even or did not even exist during the time period that they're judging. The same goes with gaining access to sites that are part of the public domain, but somehow have gotten trapped behind red tape and organizations that believe that they have some sort of authority over those sites. A concept that's best summed up by my friend and fellow history buff over on the channel Running Into History, which I highly recommend as someone that you need to go check out.
So I'm not allowed on your property. You don't want me there, so you don't want me anywhere on your property. So don't ever come there. So you don't want me there. What about the section outside? You don't want me anywhere on your property.
Now, with all of these issues in gaining access to information, it's important to know that the information kept by historical societies and other historical groups is not their information. Most of the time, it was just someone who started collecting the information when it was being tossed into the trash, or they received it upon someone's passing, or a company that went out of business, and these people, they decided to keep it, which more power to them. That's a great thing. Yes, you could argue that the trash became their treasure, but the ownership of the information, the history, is truly not theirs. It belonged to someone else before it came into their hands. Now, the reasons why these people keep these things, aside from the monetary value of old relics that were once valuable, then became worthless, and as it does over time became valuable again, is usually because they saw a benefit in keeping a piece of history that, for whatever reason, they felt was important to keep a hold of in order to tell other people about a time before now. Much like what I do with the videos I produce here at ODDySEEy. The difference is, most of these historical societies and even museums have lost their way, and now instead of sharing the history freely to everyone so that nobody forgets the way we once were, they have gone so dark as to actually become somewhat tyrannical about their holdings, and they charge you money. Or, as they like to say, it's free with a donation, which is doublespeak for you can't see it or know about it without giving me money. Something far too common in today's United States. The other issue they bring about is that not only do you have to pay them in order to gain access, but then they demand that you tell their story or their version of the story, even though in most cases it's extremely inaccurate, far from the truth of what really happened, and barely historical. Again, something that's all too common in today's United States. But sometimes, and I really do mean rarely, someone out there sees a light and sees a benefit to history being told correctly and given out freely. And when they look at what they have, they realize that they can't take it with them when they die, much like the person before them. And sometimes they realize that everything they had hoped to do with this information and the history to be told will be lost when they are gone. And sometimes they realize there are people out there who can help tell the story and keep the history alive. And sometimes small miracles happen. This is one of those small miracles. As some of you know, I have a lot of background projects for sites I'm working on, but information is either tied up by some bourgeoisie group or has been made unavailable because the story it tells differs greatly from the ones controlling the history, and if disclosed, it puts them in a very bad light. One of those stories is that of the original Raystown Dam and the community that lived around the man-made lake. Fortunately, someone saw one of my videos and had pieces to that story, and they decided to give me access to their relics from history in order to help move the story forward for everyone to see. And right here, right now, for the first time since 1969, here are pictures of the Simpson cabin on Old Lake Raystown. Remember to jump out to Running into History and give them some love from our community here at Scott's Odyssey. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.